Southern Nevada, home to the largest American reservoir, Lake Mead. I talked to you today about this to spread word of a problem that may affect the surrounding area. Lake Mead seems to be dropping. First, let's go over the facts. According to earthobservatory.nasa.gov, water levels are their lowest in Lake Mead since 1937, and around 25 million people get their water from Lake Mead. 90% of Las Vegas uses water from Lake Mead. Now, I want to make it clear, nature is unpredictable. Snow and rain could in fact pour through Lake Mead, causing the water to rise again. Just like how in the winter of 2022 to 2023, Nevada had lots of snow melt down from the mountains to rise Lake Mead. 13 feet is how much the lake has risen since January 1st of 2023. With the constant growing population of the surrounding area, this may only prolong the inevitable. Time to now go over the water levels. According to the usbr.gov, the water level in 2000 was 1,200 feet. 2002 was 1,157 feet. 2008, 1,107 feet. 2018, 1,077 feet. 2021 was 1,067 feet. And the current footage is 1,056 feet. After trying to interview with multiple Nevada organizations about the conservation of water, I did not get back a single email message. They must be pretty busy, right? Well, luckily, I did get a response from University of Las Vegas Professor of Geology, Matthew Lacknight. How often does the average human use water from Lake Mead?
Well, for people in Las Vegas, every day, all day. Same for Tucson, same for Phoenix, same for San Diego, parts of LA. I mean, this water is distributed across the Southwest, something like 35 million different people, including some people in Mexico. So here in Las Vegas, it's 90% of our water supply. So when you turn on the tap, you're getting, 90% of that water is coming directly out of Lake Mead. So, I mean, really the answer to that question is we're talking 30 million people are relying on that.
Would they ever cut off states from access to water?
So the way that this structure works now, and this is a policy question, is no individual group of users would get totally shut off, but they would get throttled, right? They would lose some access to it and have to, adopt more of a conservation mindset. And again, this is somewhat of a hypothetical question because it's a political question that hasn't been resolved. There's not an easy way for that answer to really be given in a hypothetical way because it involves the water managers from all of these different potentially competing municipalities and organizations arguing and fighting amongst themselves for trying to preserve as much of what they can as possible. And we've been in that situation for the last couple of years where we finally had to come together with cuts, and that was done mostly on a consensus basis. Like there wasn't a top-down approach saying you're getting water and you're not. It was all the people working together trying to make some sort of reasonable compromise. And basically it meant that everybody got cut a little bit. This year, i.e. the 2023 levels are going up a little bit because we had a really wet winter of snow in the Rockies. And so we're just kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit. But I expect in the next several years and the next several decades, we're going to be back at it again. And what actually happens in those negotiations to decide who gets the water is up in the air.
What can the average person do in their everyday life to help conserve water?
Yeah, this is a good question. Um, in a place like Las Vegas, where we have roughly 2 million people using the Colorado River as their main water source, the biggest thing that you can do to reduce the amount of water that's lost is to take out grass and other water thirsty outside landscaping. And the reason is that whenever you irrigate outside, all of that water ends up getting lost to the atmosphere by evaporation or coming from the plants themselves. Whatever we use indoors just gets recycled back into Lake Mead. So every time you take a shower, whether that shower is 3 minutes long or 30 minutes long, that water is all going back to Lake Mead, so it doesn't really count against our water use. So cutting down on water, could be considered a positive thing if you're trying to save money, or if you're, trying to reduce your carbon footprint a little bit. But in terms of the water budget for Lake Mead, it's the outdoor use that's most important. So you see all around Las Vegas that turf is being removed along the roads, along medians, and they're doing that because that would be water that's otherwise completely lost.
Lake Mead's future is truly uncertain, but the future of humankind is in good hands. My name is James Gannon, and this was Lake Mead Seems to be Dropping.